Okay, I'm gonna show a little bit more order flow in a setup that happens quite often on CL, and that's a, a either a second entry long or a failed second entry long. We, as you can see on the chart, we had a move up to a new swing high. It wasn't the high of the day, but it was a new swing high. It doesn't look like that the measured move was completed before it came back down into two legs, and so you can see that we formed that new swing high and two pushes up above the swing high. It reversed, came down in one good strong leg, and then came down into a second leg. And now we're at a point where we're kind of deciding, okay, is this thing gonna go turn around and go back up, or is it going to fail and go back down? Now, there's a couple things to note from a price action perspective. One is it's late in the day for CL. This is around 2:15, 2:20 in the afternoon. Just right before the close. This thing would be going up into the EMA, and the trend line, the downward steep trend line hasn't been broken. So for me, from my perspective, I'm looking more for a failure here than a successful second entry long. I wouldn't take this trade as a second entry long, even though there's a failed breakout of this other swing low point here, given time of day and everything else. So what we're going to do is take a look at the orders and the order flow and see if that helps us out and clarifies anything. Okay, so here we are on the chart, taking a look at the order flow. You can see it's the same setup as the prior chart. And you can see here we've got this initial move up. It's triggering long entries. People are starting to get in here on this second, on what they think is a second entry long. And we'll just take a look here at the price action, see if anything happens. Now, you have the bulls that are trying to push this up, and you can see that there's pretty good order flow. But look how they're pulling the orders. And you've got some big traders. Look at that 9704. You got some big guys starting to come here, and you can see firming up over on the offer side. You can look at all the offers starting to print now, just really starting to hit the bid. And they look roughly even from an order book perspective, but look at all the bids that are being pulled right now out of there. So at this point, this looks like it's definitely failing. Look at all the big volume coming in. Everyone's starting to come in. If you had your stop loss below that red bar that just sold off, you're in somewhere around 94 right there. Came down to 90-ish, right around there. You may have actually come down even further, gotten 6 quick ticks out of that. But if you're in there, let's say you're in there 93, a little more conservatively, you're up 2 ticks. You're trying to hoping this thing pushes down a little bit further. But in terms of we can kind of look at this from a trade management perspective the rest of the time. But in terms of the entry and what you're looking at, you could see very clearly from the order flow how things started to stack against the bulls. The bull case was beginning to weaken. They started pulling orders, and then you saw an influx of the volume coming through. So now you see some huge orders. Look at that 115 print. Now, with 115 print on the buy side, 71, if this does not move price up a lot, then you've got a lot of bears that are cushioning and absorbing this bull influx. And again, look, you've got more big bear sellers coming in. Lots of activity here at the end of the day. More bears. Starting to pull offers. Pull bids. Offers are getting stacked right here on the inside. Bids were getting stacked. I mean, there's just, you can just see the fight going back and forth. Even the big guys are fighting with each other. So here you're still up 4, you've got 6, and now it continues to drop. So really cool case, or really good example of looking at the order flow to kind of confirm your hypothesis of which way you're leaning, or to try to get out with a lesser loss. I mean, when you saw the orders start flowing in, you saw the weakness of the bulls, you could have gotten out with just a small loss and maybe moved on and looked for the next trade.